Okay, welcome to week 3, lesson 1. I'm going to show you a couple of really important chord progressions, and there's not a whole lot to them, but they're really important. They're in a million songs. You've probably already learned a bunch of songs that do something along this line. And I just want to point out to you, these 3 chords played together in a row in either direction. I'm going to start with an open string C chord. The second chord in this progression is what we call G over B. Basically, I'm playing like I'm playing a G chord. The only note I'm really going to hold is that B note at the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and I'm just going to strum the inside strings. I'm not going to strum either of the E strings. Occasionally you'll see this chord with the 3rd finger down or with a finger down at the 3rd fret. Either way, still a G over B chord. The 3rd chord in this group is the A minor chord. Okay, so listen to how it sounds. Okay, that's a really popular chord progression in a lot of songs. Or it could go the other direction, starting with the A minor, ending up on C. Okay, here's an example of how it might be played. So you've heard that before, haven't you? Alright, C to G over B to A minor. Very important. It's in a lot of songs. You've got to know about that. Now we're going to do the same kind of thing, but we're going to play a G chord. We're going to a D over F sharp, which is a little bit tricky for some people, but I'll help you with that, and an E minor chord. Okay? Now, starting with the G, D over F sharp. I like to do this. Here's a normal D chord, and a note that's in the D chord over here, my 2nd finger on the 1st string, is the note F sharp. But instead of playing the F sharp way down there, or way up there at the top of the chord, the high pitch note, I want to play it over here. It's very cool sounding when it's going from this bass note of a G chord down to the bass note of an E minor chord. So I want to play that F sharp there. I have to change my fingering. There's 2 different fingerings people use for this. A lot of times they leave their 3rd finger right where it is. They move this finger over to play that note, and then their 1st finger is free to play that F sharp at the bottom. Okay? Personally, though, I like to do it a little bit different. Because I'm starting on a G chord, and most of the time when you play D over F sharp, it's right before or after a G chord. Well, since my 2nd finger is already in position there on that 6th string, I like to just slide it back 1 fret to play the F sharp, and then I bring in these 2 other fingers, 3rd and 4th finger, to play the D over F sharp. And then there I am at E minor. Okay? Now if we go the other direction, E minor, D over F sharp, G. Okay? If we arpeggiate this like we did with the other example. I think you've probably heard that one too. Okay? When you're looking in a songbook and you see a chord name such as G/B or D/F sharp, what that really is telling you is we're playing a chord, and then slash, the note that's after that is the bass note of the chord. In other words, G/B. We're playing a G chord, but instead of using G as our low note in the chord as we normally would do, we're going to use B as the low note. Typically, the note you're using is a chord tone, what we call a chord tone. It belongs in that chord anyway. But they're just indicating that it's not what we call a root position chord with the root note in the bass. D over F sharp, D/F sharp. It just means we're playing a D chord, but instead of the lowest note being D, we're making it F sharp. So anytime you see that in a songbook, now you understand what that means.